Hi there. My name is Ben Mihalski. I live in Mableton, Georgia. My wife, Julie DeLong, recently died, and I believe it was a direct result of Wegovy GLP-1. Her story is in June, I believe, mid-June, she started taking Wegovy with the doctor's suggestion and prescription, and she started taking it. She lost 20 pounds rather quickly within a couple months, but she lost a lot of muscle mass. She lost in total 40 pounds. Due to the medication, she lost a ton of muscle mass. Her ability to breathe, her her stamina was decreased immensely, and in um, the end of December, she went to have ankle replacement surgery and wasn't taken off the medication by her doctor. Doctor suggested an orthopedic surgeon. The surgery went fine. She was given a cast to wear. She went 2 weeks with the cast. On January 13th, I believe, she had the cast removed and a boot put on so she could be more active and able. She still was on a scooter, scooting around the house to do her things and get around. That evening of January 16th, she decided to take a shower for the upcoming appointment in physical therapy. She decided to take the shower. I set her up in the shower with a seat so she could sit down, and her scooter would be on the outside so she could rest her ankle. When we got to the shower, she said I got behind her, she said she felt dizzy and collapsed. I couldn't do anything. She just collapsed right in front of me. Her head, right near her right temple, hit the shower stall tile where the riser goes up to the door, and she went totally limp. I grabbed her. I said, "Julie, are you okay?" And she came to. I said, "You hit that hard. We need to call an ambulance." And I got her a pillow upon her asking. I put a pillow under her head and under her foot. She agreed to get an ambulance sent. The ambulance come. The ambulance drivers, I told them the situation. I told them what she was on. I told them that she had ankle replacement surgery, and if they were going to move her, he said, "Does she have a walker with a seat?" They picked her up and put her on a walker. I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I got to put this boot on her ankle because she can't put any weight on her ankle. She just had it replaced." So they allowed me to do that. Then I left the bathroom, into the bedroom. There were 4 strong, very large men there with the ambulance EMT. Then they wheeled her out of the bathroom, out of the house, on her walker, not a bed, on her walker, out to the foyer and out the front door. The ambulance driver handed me a wastebasket had some vomit in it. He said she vomited in this, and I tossed it to the side. We got out to the cul-de-sac. They were putting her on a bed, I think, or they hadn't gotten to that point. He asked for her identification. I went inside, grabbed her license, showed it to him. They had her in the ambulance now. I tried getting in the ambulance. I was instructed I couldn't go with them. I had to meet them at the hospital. Got to the hospital shortly after, and I had to wait 2 hours to see my wife. They made me wait in the waiting room for 2 hours. Finally, I get into the back there, into the emergency room, and I'm led into a consult room. A doctor comes in and he tells me, "I have bad news. Your wife has had a heart attack." Well, really, she's had 4 heart attacks. I said, "What? Where's my wife?" And then they told me that she had they took me back there. I got to see my wife, held her hand, made eye contact, one eye open. I made contact with her and told her that I was there for her, Julie. I'm there for you. And then they pulled me away and told me that she was a candidate for a heart-lung machine, that her lungs and her heart had been through a lot and they needed to rest. So they needed my consent. That a team would come down from a nearby hospital, Kennestone Hospital, to put her on this machine. Okay, so I consented. The doctor, they hook her up to this machine, they get her to Kennestone. I'm flown to I go to Kennestone with a neighbor who's an RN nurse, OR nurse, and they take me to another room, and then they tell me she's not going to make it through the night. Then 4 doctors stand up, and they all give their reasons why she's not going to make it through the night. And I'm floored. I'm shocked. I don't know what to do. And I'm looking at my neighbor, and we're just in shock. Finally, go back to the ICU to see my wife. Now they've stopped poking and prodding her, and they've got her all hooked up to these machines. That evening, a nurse named Josh is looking at the numbers that are on the machines, and he looks at Julie. He says, "Julie, are you there? You okay?" And she nods, and he asks her another question, and she nods again. And I I kind of move in, and I asked Josh if I could talk to her. He said, "Sure." I said, "Julie, this is your husband, Ben. Can you hear me?" And she nods yes. I said, "Julie," now she has a DNR on her health directive. I said, "Julie, you're on life support. Do you want me to stop this?" She clearly nods no. So that's all I need. I look at Josh. Josh says, "Oh yeah, she knows. She's a bit." They've lowered her medication, lowered her sedatives. So now she's here somewhat. So that evening she rests and gets a little better. That morning, doctors come and they start doing their thing again. They got to look inside her lungs. They tell me to see if there's any debris that she may have swallowed that's hindering her lungs. So I consent. They up her sedatives again. They go in and they can't really see anything. They leave with a sample. That's all they could get. Then he comes back a couple hours later and he says, "We need to do an endoscopy to see what's going on." She's taken 20 liters of blood, and we don't know where it's going. Some of it has come out of her rectum, but we're not sure where the rest is going. We have to see. We have to up her medication considerably for this endoscopy to happen. It's a lot of pain. It's very painful. I consent. They go in. They come back afterwards and tell me that her entire GI tract, from her esophagus down to her small intestine, the tissue is dead. All the tissue is gone. It's what is it called? Mesostemic ischemia is what he tells me. And I'm like, what? So, in my opinion, this is the GLPs that have done this. The GLP, Wegovy, and he says he doesn't understand what happened. 5 arteries feed the stomach, and for some reason, all those arteries shut down. There was no blood given to the stomach and to her GI tract. And I said, "Well, you were wrong last night about her surviving the night. Maybe you're wrong about this." They didn't seem to think so, but that evening, she passed. She had renal failure and she passed. I had to take her off the machines. I loved my wife very much, and I believe, and everyone I've talked to and I've researched, and it's this GLPs that have done it to my wife. This Wegovy, this horrible medicine that millions of people are taking, has taken to my wife's life. And I'm fighting for my wife. I'll be fighting for my wife forever. I love my wife. Thank you for hearing me. And okay, I'm done.